We did hear Manfred talk about a couple things as well, that he wants to add a free agency deadline. Do you think this is a good idea for baseball?
I would look at it from a couple different lenses.
Okay.
I think from an entertainment standpoint for the fans, sure, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And what he specifically said is he wants a free agent signing period, ideally in December, with a deadline that would drive people to make deals. So for an entertainment standpoint, right, like some of the biggest free agents are still out there right now.
Yeah.
Spring training has started.
Which
and
is
some
crazy.
of the biggest, the Cy Young winner from last year in the National League hasn't signed anywhere. So you have these big players that still haven't signed. But where I would become frustrated with that is, let's say you have a deadline, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it's great for entertainment purposes. You get signed, and all the fans can do this and buy jerseys and get all excited about their team this year. But what it does is even more so put players in a bind and box them into a corner where they can't sign the deals that they want. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're already seeing a little bit. That's why Blake Snell hasn't signed. There's no offer that's available to him right now that allows him to sign an acceptable deal for winning the Cy Young Award last year.
Yeah.
And he's not a player that's able to set his own market. Really, there's 4 or 5 of them that are able to be like, I'm going to set my own market. Shohei, Aaron Judge, Ronald Acuna Jr., probably like Mookie's in that conversation, but there's not a lot of guys like that. So what happens is teams start using the media to put words out there, right? Well, okay, Blake Snell wants $300 million. He's only got one offer out there for $180 million. Well, what team is then going to come along and be like, well, I'll give him $300? No, what's out there publicly is $180. So then if you put a deadline, you're just forcing players to sign a deal in which, to be honest with you, they're worth far more, and they're just getting screwed over by, like, I don't know, greedy ownership that doesn't want to pay more for players. So I don't know. I see it from an entertainment perspective. I would get it, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think it takes all of the leverage away from the player, which is the goal, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like the player should have all of the leverage. I'm saying it should be even. And if you give them a deadline and say you have to sign by this point or else, well, they lose all of that leverage. And then it's like, well, what's the point?
See, this is Rob being like, well, I'm going to be gone in 5 years, so I want to put this in, so I'm just going to do it, and you'll figure it out later.
It's also him looking good publicly, right?
Yes.
Like fans that aren't thinking like that see that and say, that's a great idea. But you're not thinking about like how it affects the game and how it affects the signings and all of that. So look, I think it'd be entertaining, but I don't think it would be what's best for everybody involved.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, that's fair. It's also crazy to think we still have a Cy Young winner and a World Series champion that are still on the market in Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. Like and pitching is the biggest thing that teams needed. It's what we saw the biggest downfall for a lot of these great teams once you got to the postseason. And these are 2 of the best in the game right now that don't have a home.
Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.